I want to ask you firstly, seeing this whole office space, I feel like there's a lot of creative energy generally here. I'm sure even the way you've selected your team, it's a very creative team. And usually, what I see with creative professionals who we hire, it's sometimes difficult to teach them how to monetize their craft, how to make money off creativity. I want to ask you that same question. So, you've been like a writer, director, producer, you've even acted. And you've gone and kind of monetized that whole process. You made money off it. You made a career off it. So what's that one piece of advice that you have when it comes to monetizing your art? Because I feel it's a very relevant thing today.
I have never thought of it like that, Ranveer.
Okay.
I have always pursued my art.
Okay.
And it's monetized itself. Because the moment you start thinking of monetizing your art, you're bastardizing it, whatever the word is. Because you can't do that. You have to say, this is what I want to do. I will do it to the best of my ability. And let me tell you, it'll monetize itself. I'm a living example of that.
Speaking about you, I want to go back to one of your stories.
Yeah.
There was a movie you made called Khamosh.
Yes.
And it was the first movie you made out of this studio.
Yes.
And I read the plot of the movie. I've not seen it.
Yeah.
Very complex plot. Way ahead of like 80s films.
Yes.
You weren't able to sell it to any distributor. People just didn't buy it.
That's right.
And then I think you kind of went about that whole process yourself.
It was a crazy thing. I made Khamosh. Everybody praised that film. Nobody bought it.
Yeah.
And everybody, Yash Chopra said it's great. And then the craziest thing that happened to me, there was a great distributor, Yash, his name was Gulshan Rai.
Okay.
Huge distributor. And his son Rajiv Rai. One day I got flowers and it says, great film, whatever, from Gulshan Rai and Rajiv Rai. And I was married to Renu Saluja, then my editor, and I said, oh shit, film big, And then we waited for the phone to ring. It didn't ring. We had, the usual rum and coke that night, and we were celebrating that finally our film is sold. Nobody bought that film. And then nobody called. And we never went to the loo also. One of us used to stand next to that one phone, ke bajega. Finally, nahi baja, so I called Mr. Gulshan Rai. I said, I want to meet you. He called me. I went there and I said to him, I met him and I said, thank you for the flowers, sir. And I made Khamosh. He said, what flowers? Which film? What are you talking about? I said, I got flowers from you. He said, nahi, man, Rajiv ne bheje. Ek minute. He called, Rajiv, tu phul bheje koi Vinod Chopra? He said, nahi, main nahi bheje Rajiv. So I went to Rajiv Rai and he said, it's a great film. And because he was a director. So I said, will you buy it? He said, no, that my father does. So didn't buy it. And then the crazy thing that happened to me, I had a friend, Shiv Kumar Subramaniam, who had worked with me, and I was walking with him at Carter Road. He says, if you believe in this film so much, why don't you release it? It was a dumb thing to say, how can I release a film? I said, but how can I release it? Kehta, why not? And I thought about that, Ranveer. What I did was completely crazy. I hired one cinema, Regal, because Manek Sidhwa, the then owner, I showed him the film, he liked it. One cinema, I put the hoardings, that time we used to put hoardings. I hired it and put my film there. So I was the distributor, which means that if I would not be able to give NFDC 8 lakhs loan, I would be dead because my bank balance was not even 8,000 rupees. Okay? Day one, me, Renu Saluja, Binod Pradhan, my cameraman, we are in the movie theater and it's empty. Nobody's there, 3 o'clock show. And in the balcony, there were just 4 or 5 guys in one corner. There was us and nobody else. And I completely panicked. I made notes. I said, cut this scene. This scene is not working. That scene is not working. That scene is not working. And it finished and I told Renu, I said, yaar, ye sare scene cut de. She said, I won't touch it. Not till the last night show. I said, I am the producer. Abhi to main bada calm ho gaya hu because I'm married to a very calm woman for many years, 25 years. But that time I was very aggressive. I used to carry a knife and all. I was a violent bugger.
Wow.
So I said, no, you can't do this. It's my film. I'm the producer. And Binod took her down. There was a coffee shop in Regal Cinema. I don't know whether it's there now. Down. And I was so angry and I went to the loo. And in the loo, while I'm taking a leak, those 3-4 guys, one of them said, tu kai ko itna chillata hai? Producer hai kya tu? I didn't want to bother and answer him. I kept taking my leak. As he left, he said, tension kai ko leta hai? Tera night show full hai.
Wow.
I got a shock of my life. So I came out, I started looking for the guy, couldn't find him. In the next 2 hours, there was a house full board for the 9 p.m. show. And 9 p.m., those 4 guys were the blackies. That time, the tickets used to sell in black. And was sabko gana, 30 ka 40, 30 ka 40, 30 ka 40. And I looked at him and said, bola tha na? So it was those guys who made the film run. Wow. It didn't run for 2 weeks. It ran for 6 weeks. Every week, I used to get extension. And while running there, I sold LUP, CPCI and everything and recovered my money. Wow. So it's a crazy story for young people.